Hey team, Richard and Mary Mortho, executive consultants with Ambit Energy. Just putting out this correction of a video. We had a panelist on before doing a hangout, and we had some technical difficulties, and we want to make sure that we get this message out to you guys. I know some of you guys invested some time into plugging in and watching, and so this is our efforts to correct that and make sure you guys get value for what we just did.
Right now, we've just got an incredible extension of a promotion that we have never had in the 8 years that we've been in Ambit Energy. And I can tell you that if you approach these next 3 weeks like they just launched this promotion brand new, rather than it being an extension of something that we've been doing, it'll completely change how you approach the next 3 weeks. It'll change the foundation that you build for your business over the next 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, and so on with Ambit Energy. If you actually take this time and really press in and do the things that you're supposed to do and teach your team to do the same thing over and over and over again, you can set yourself up where you in a few years will be able to experience the fruits of what financial freedom really is.
You know, under open enrollment, we've got a great opportunity for you guys to make some jumpstart bonuses. And so whether you just got started or you got started a couple weeks ago and you're still in your jumpstart period, or maybe you're somebody that got started, several weeks ago, and for some reason you didn't get your jumpstart bonus. Here's how the jumpstart bonuses work. If you gather 4 customers in Texas, it's going to pay you $200, and it's going to pay a matching bonus to your sponsor as well. In other states outside of Texas, all other states outside of Texas, when you get your first 5 households, it's going to pay you $150 and your sponsor a matching bonus of $150. So it doesn't matter where you live. It does matter where you gather customers. So that's just how the bonuses work as it pertains to that in your first 28 days. So even if for some reason you missed your bonus, on the first round, you can still sponsor people during this open enrollment period and help them during their 28 days to get their bonus, which is also going to generate a matching bonus for you. You're not out of the game. Mary and I, when we joined, there's 2 dates in every Ambit Energy consultant's career: the date they joined and the date they started. For in our case, it was not the same date, and I hope that it's your same date, but ours was 6 months apart. We joined, and 6 months later we got started. You got a choice right now. You joined. When did you start? Are you starting today? Did you already start weeks ago? Whatever that is, but once you start, stay started. See, once we started, we didn't look back. We just stayed started. Even though we missed out on some of those initial bonuses, we kept going and we worked on to become one of the top incomers in all of Ambit.
Now, the other thing that you want to do is make sure you're hitting those bonuses, because then that actually qualifies you as a qualified consultant. That'll help your sponsor be able to promote in the compensation plan in their upline as well. And obviously that may not be important to you, but it will be important to you if you can duplicate that, because it'll create qualified consultants in your downline, which will help you get promoted and onto bigger bonuses as well. So it's all about duplication, and your people will not do what you tell them to do. They're going to do what you do. It really is a monkey see, monkey do business. So it's really important that during this time, you work with your upline. You work with your upline senior consultant and executive consultant. We are here to help you build the business. We have had unprecedented amount of growth over the last few weeks because of open enrollment. So we cannot reach out to every single person that joins us on the team. So it's really, really important that you're the person who reaches out and gets the coaching and development that you need from your upline senior and executive consultant. We may not be either one of those for you, but you've got incredible leaders on your team that will help you with getting to the next level, as long as you're willing to take action. I tell people it only takes 2 things to be ridiculously successful in Ambit. And the first is that you're willing to take action every day for the next 2 to 3 years. And it doesn't matter if it's 15 minutes a day or 15 hours a day. It's daily action to build that muscle. And the second thing is that you're willing to be coached and mentored through the system that we have. Our system is very simple. It does take a little bit of coaching. It does take a little bit of training development to really be facile and have mastery with the system. And not everybody comes in and they're great at it automatically. We weren't. And we had a lot of great mentorship in the years that we've been in Ambit. And that's what has us be as successful as we are. We weren't born with skills like this. we had some skills walking in, but it really was the mentorship. And the mentorship is really the thing that's going to make the difference between your success and your failure in this business, is really getting mentorship.
You know, we do have a culture of leadership. We have a culture of mentorship. You're not going to find it like this in very many places. We have an unusual culture in Ambit across the board where, you know, literally you have people that aren't in each other's organizations helping each other get across the finish line. And I'm telling you, you stay around here long enough, you're going to realize that some of the best people on planet Earth are right here in Ambit Energy, because we do have a win-win mentality. We do have, you know, help pay it forward mentality. And it's not always about me, myself, and I. So, and I can tell you from Mary and myself, we're always going to put your check ahead of ours. Your check, you getting paid, is way more important than us. So I want you to, you know, plug in with your senior consultant and your executive consultant and make sure that you're working with them closely. You know, your senior consultants are looking for 5 people that they can really, really pour into and help them get promoted to senior, so that they themselves can get promoted to executive. As executives, we're looking for 5 seniors that we can pour into and help them get promoted to executive. So for example, we promote to national, and that's how this works. So no one makes more money in Ambit just by default. We only, as consultants, make more money because we've helped somebody else make more money. So if that's something that you want to learn how to do, then we can help you do that. So just again, as Mary was talking about, you know, the Ambit system is key. Start learning it. You're not going to start off as a pro. Some of you will get started off quick. Some of you will start off slow. It doesn't really matter. As long as you realize that this is an earn while you learn program, we will help you every step of the way. We'll help you get promoted. We'll help your new people get promoted. And together we'll win together as a team. One of the things I want to address, because I know we've got a lot of consultants that have joined from all sorts of places that, you know, there's no business presentation. Hopefully a platform like this will help us do some things online. But, you know, you've got so many resources for yourself to be able, you know, if you live, you know, an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours away from a local business presentation, you've got your websites. You can go sit down with your neighbors. You can do a home meeting at your house. You can invite people over and say, listen, I just want to show you what I'm working on. And you have your own business presentation right there. Bring the business presentation to them. You do not have to wait for it to come to you. Matter of fact, if you want to be a strong local leader in your area, be one of the first people that starts showing the business over and over again. Start growing your team to where you do grow out of your living room, and to where you do have to go to a back room at a restaurant, to maybe where you do have to go to a small hotel room, conference center, whatever that might be, because that's how all the meetings around the country have started. But do not hold back because something's not laid out for you just for you to walk into and start being able to have other people do the presentations for you. You've got all the tools you need. If you've got the ability to point someone to take a look at a video, or point them to look at a DVD, and the DVDs are also in the magazines, then you can start a meeting. Now, you may not know how to close a meeting. That's where you bring in your upline seniors and executives to say, listen, I've got a home meeting on Monday at 7 o'clock. Could someone be available to speak over a speakerphone and talk to my guest? The answer is yes. And then also you probably need a little bit of coaching on how to kind of prepare for, how do I set my house up? You know, what kind of snacks was it? We want everything to be kept real simple. So reach out to your senior and your executive to figure out how you want to set up a home meeting, and we'll certainly make sure we walk you through all the steps to make sure you know how to do that. But the bottom line is, bring the meeting to them. Do not wait for a meeting to come to you. This is your business. You're an independent consultant, and you're certainly not learning how to be a dependent consultant, but you're going to have to learn how to be independent, walk and talk and breathe this, but you're going to do it through mentorship.
And the thing that you just want to get is everything we do is duplicatable. So you may think that you've got to learn how to do a presentation. You do not. There may be things that you think you have to learn before you can have certain levels of success in the business. You do not. And so Your job is to get mentorship and guidance so you can kind of figure out what is it that you really need to learn and what is it that you really don't need to learn. Because we don't want you to focus time and attention on things that don't actually produce you results in your business. So it's very important that you work with that mentorship and work with leadership that can help walk you through what you need to focus your time and attention on. And then one of the very first things that you should do is switch your own electric service or gas service to Ambit Energy, or both, if you live in a service territory where you can do both. Very, very important that you become your own first customer, because one, it's really great training on how to do the switchover process. Two, if you're not your own customer, you can be, what does that say about your business? So it's you definitely want to set yourself up so that you can actually start receiving free energy and free gas when you've got enough customers. I'm telling you, it is the biggest selling point in our business. It is the biggest faith builder in our business. We've had so many people whose spouses weren't on board with their Ambit Energy business, but once they started getting free electricity or free gas, oh boy, all of a sudden, how they viewed the business completely changed, because that is a tax-free pay raise for their household. And I think once people start experiencing that, they realize that Ambit Energy is very, very different than anything else that they've ever experienced before, if they've ever dabbled in some kind of direct sales before, because free energy is residual income. It's the very first big residual check that any new consultant gets. And if you're in Texas and you're in a contract, work with your upline senior executive consultant. Sometimes it makes financial sense for you to break your contract. Sometimes for you to wait out the contract. Sometimes it'll make sense to go ahead and do the switch because you're so close to your contract terminating, but we won't know that until you actually get in communication. And we're going to advise you what makes the most sense for you. And in all actuality, during this open enrollment period, if you've got a contract that you got to break, I would recommend breaking it, because you literally invested $24.95 to start your business. And that could be just another business investment for you. And more than likely, within 6 months, if you're actively growing your Ambit Energy business, you're going to start qualifying for free energy. And you've got to let us work with you and help you with how to turn your conversations from people who are not interested in the business to becoming your customers. And that's really where you get the rest of your customers. It's not going after customers. We do not want you to have conversations with people about being customers. We want you to approach people about the business, have them take a look at our business. And anybody who says no to the business, that's where you get the rest of your customers. We are not about selling electricity or natural gas. We are all about exposing people to a really incredible business idea that could change their financial future forever.
Mary talked about learn a system, plug it into the system, and it's real important that you do understand the invitation, presentation, validation process. And when we say validation, we do mean the three-way phone calls. So, we're going to ask you that over the next 7 days that you're going to go out there and you're going to invite and show the business to 10 people on up to 25 people, if that's what you can do. For some of you, that's, 2 showings a day. For some of you, that's 3 or 4 showings a day. And my personal opinion is it's doable. You think about how long does it take to actually invite someone to take a look at a 15-minute video. The only thing that's going to keep you from doing that is whatever thoughts you've got going through between your 2 ears of why you can't, which is why you got to pick up the phone and get support. If you need help in mocking or practicing a conversation before you call your buddy Steve, or before you call your brother Jack or your friend Sue, whatever that might be, then do that. But if you're somebody that's thinking, well, I'm going to figure this out on my own, I don't need to ask for help, that's not the kind of person I am. I'm kind of a do-it-myself kind of person. That's going to be a hard row to hoe. I'm sorry. That's just not easy. I can tell you from us in the beginning, when we chose to start the business, we borrowed mentorship from Steve Thompson, from Brian McClure, from Chris and Debbie Atkinson, from Ray Monty, from Chris Chambliss. We were borrowing as much mentorship and experience and wisdom as we possibly could. And my pride got checked out the door, and I didn't get a Coke ticket for it either. I just left it there. I wasn't going to do anything. I just wanted to learn, and so did Mary, because there were things that we had to make happen so we could pay for this house, so we could put food on the table, so we could walk away from a business that was sucking the life out of us, where we were working 70, 80 hours a week. We had a big why. And I don't know if you've got a big enough why, but I know that we did. I didn't mind the mortgage business, but my wife hated it. So obviously, I do believe that if my wife's happy, life goes a little easier. So I was thinking, well, let's get out of this as soon as we can. So this was our exit strategy. And though Ambit was our exit strategy of the mortgage business, it became our life strategy for helping people. And that's something that I didn't count on. That's not what I was banking on. I was just trying to figure out, how do we keep the finances together as we were getting ready to approach the biggest recession that we've ever experienced. And it was from learning the Ambit system. It was from plugging in the Ambit system. It was working with successful people in the business that we were able to get to where we wanted to get. And though we never set out to be top income earners in the company, we certainly are glad that we've had the opportunity to do that, and year after year stay there, because we continue to help people make more money, get promoted, and get further ahead towards their whys and dreams.
Yeah, and in the beginning, we were humble enough to know that even though we've had great success in other things, we had no success in Ambit. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know how to build a network marketing business of this magnitude. We just assumed we knew nothing, and we reached out to the people who knew something. And anybody who had more experience or more success than we did, we reached out to them and we got in front of them and we got around them as much as we possibly could. And so that's your job. It's your job to get around some successful people and do what they do. And, one of the things I want to stress to you is we've got some major events that are coming up that you need to already put in your calendar that you're going to be going to. So the very next event, if you're in Texas or anywhere within driving distance, I would say 8 hours or less, you need to get yourself here. It's Ambit Power Trip, and you can go to ambitpowertrip.com and get the details on that. Brian McClure, our #1 income earner, puts that on twice a year. It's going to be 1 month from now. It's April 12th through 14th, I believe, but you can get the details on the website. It's going to be here in Dallas. And then in the fall, we've got our annual convention. Every single person who is watching this video needs to get themselves to our convention. It's called Ambition. You can go to the event center and get all the details on that. Events.ambitenergy.com. If you are in your first 30 days of being in the business, you're going to get a discounted registration rate. Take advantage of that. I mean, the people who go to those big events get a whole different outlook on what's available for this business. It wasn't until we went to our first big event that we really realized how incredible this business opportunity is. And so it's really important that you get yourself there, because we could explain it in full-blown Technicolor, show you as many videos as possible from all the previous events, and it still will not give you what you need to get from the actual event. And then on March 28th, we've got a huge launch event in Massachusetts. Richard's going to be there for that. Some of our corporate staff's going to be there for that. If you're anywhere in the Northeast where you can drive to that, get yourself there and get your team there and get as many people there as possible, because it will be a life changer as well. Anytime you can get exposure to a bigger picture about what's possible, you need to get that exposure, because that's the thing that had us keep going. Even during the times where it didn't look like it was going to work for us, we just had to keep ourselves in front of people who had a bigger vision than we did, because in the beginning, our vision was very limited. And you might be in that place where your vision is very limited by what your mind can grasp, and that's totally fine. But you just need to get yourself exposed to people who have a broader vision because they've already experienced it before. And very, very important that that's part of the system that you plug into, and getting yourself around other people. And in the beginning, we kept ourselves very, very busy showing people the business. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy like it is today. We didn't have a video. We didn't have an online 24/7 website. We actually had to call people and explain the presentation, and it wasn't duplicatable, and it took a long time. Or we had to go there and do a flip chart. I mean, it was intense agony for a lot of us, for me, for sure. But you've got an incredible system that you can literally every single day show the plan to 3 to 10 people without even taking a whole lot of time and effort. And once you get really good at doing that, you can do it over and over and over again. And you literally could squeeze that time in several times a day and be able to have an incredible business that can help you with building. I mean, so right now, act like your life is dependent on the next 3 weeks and how you operate, because in a way, it really is. It really is dependent on how you operate, because these next 3 weeks could be foundational for you setting up your life of financial freedom.
And, so what Mary's speaking of is really looking at, this is what we have in our business presentations. This is the slide from Texas. There's one for all the other markets, which Texas illustrates 2 customers. The other markets illustrate 3 customers. But this is really based on 3 who get 3. And, so you're looking for 3 people that can get 3 people, 3 people who will get 3 people, not just 3 people to join your team, but 3 people that are actually going to go to work and go get 3 people and do the same thing over and over and over with them.
This business and this open enrollment time is not about you getting as many people in your business as possible, because that is not what it's about. It does not matter if you bring in 1,000 people who do absolutely nothing, you will still make nothing. And all it will do is waste a ton of your time. You really are looking for people who want to go to work, who are committed to doing something to change their financial future. So if people are even if they have very little time, they can still build this business as long as they have desire. The most important thing is desire and willingness to take action. Even if all it is 5 to 10 minutes a day, we can work with that. We cannot work with people who are apathetic. We cannot work with people who are unwilling to work. And it is not a good use of your time to try to convince people to come in during open enrollment just because it's open enrollment. It's a waste of your time, and it's a waste of their time.
Absolutely. So if you'll burn this in the back of your mind, tattoo this on the back of your hand, whatever you got to do, and just understand that this model, this payout right here is actually based upon somebody actually not promoting through the compensation plan. Now, by default, this person who would sponsor 3 that would also get 3 each, that would put that person to regional consultants. So this 7-level residual is based upon only 7 levels of residual, no residual bonuses, no leadership bonuses. This is just off customers paying a bill. And, we actually have people that are regionals and seniors that are in the company that are making this kind of money. Now, they did over a period of years, but there's nothing else that they could have done that would have generated a 6-figure plus residual income for them, this kind of passive type income. So take this to seriousness, to heart. Like Mary said, is you're not trying to convince people to join, especially during open enrollment. If they don't see this as an opportunity, make them a customer. That's all I can say is you're looking for people that want to go work, and you can drive your team depth of 3 who get 3 who get 3, and you can focus your attention on that, and we will work with you and support you and make sure that you're able to do that. There's a few other slides that we wanted to touch base on and really focus in on a couple of things. I'm going to bring these up real quick. I know we talked about as far as on, the way that we gather most of our customers is going to be through showing the plan. And that's right. Mary and I have gathered 99.9% of all of our customers from the people who said no to the business. But there were some people that we asked for a favor from. And there are people that obviously that we had close relationships with. So understand, gathering your first few customers is based on the favor and relationship. So you don't have to sell this. This is a conversation that you're having with a close friend or a close family member. It's like, hi, Mom, I could really use your help with something. I started a business and I need to gather my first loyal customers. If it wouldn't cost you anything extra, would you be my customer? Now, so you think of the kinds of people that you can have that conversation with. That's not sales right there. I mean, you are asking for help. You just started a business, and you've also just said, listen, if it wouldn't cost you anything extra, would you be my customer? I mean, how do you say no to that? And regardless of whatever it is that they say, you're going to ask them, because you're going to need this eventually anyway, is can I please look at your electric or gas bill to help me with my training? Okay? Now, once you have that information, then you can actually proceed with the process. Now, in Texas, a little bit differently, but in all the other cut and dry savings, either it's a guaranteed savings, it's a term savings, there's something there. But bottom line is they'll be your customer easily if it's not going to cost them anything extra.
the other thing is some of you guys are highly, highly, highly analytical and technical. And you actually think that other people are like that. And there are some people like that, but the vast majority of folks are not like that. And even if they are, you still want to base customer gathering on the favor and relationship. The reason why is once you get into all that nitty gritty analytical information, you now cross the line between relationship and sales. And once you cross the line into sales, you are actually going to have to work to get that customer, and you're going to have to work every year to keep that customer. So once you get somebody to say, yes, I'll do that, if it doesn't cost me anything extra, all you have to do is say, look, that's fantastic. I can switch you right now. And it looks like you're actually going to save some money too. Do not get into line by line information with them, because once you start doing that line by line, you've now crossed over into the world of sales. All they need to know is, yes, you are going to save money, or yes, you're not going to have to pay anything extra with Ambit. And that is all you're going to have to do. As long as they say, I'll do you the favor, then you still stay on the relationship side. You never want to cross over into sales.
Absolutely. And that's coming from a former mechanical engineer. And it's kind of hard to be a former engineer anything, but she's always an engineer. Be very clear, guys. I'm trying to get out of the doghouse. I'm not doing a good job. Consultant approaches. You know, these are with people that you talk to on a regular basis. These are not like, you know, once in a while type of people that you probably are calling. Especially, you know, your first 10 to 25 showings are going to be with people that you're fairly close to in some capacity, friends, family, coworker. So here's one approach. Are you in front of a computer? I need you to take a look at something. It'll take less than 15 minutes. Okay, it's not that hard. Or I'd like to run a business idea by you. When can you be in front of your computer? These are pretty simple. This is not salesmanship here, guys. We want them to take a look. We're not trying to convince them of something special here. So however you feel more comfortable doing that, and these will be available. You can hit pause and see these slides. You know, then you don't have to necessarily do it word for word, but these are pretty simple to where you can get someone just to take a look. And then, of course, there's the other options of, can we meet up later today or tomorrow so I can show you what I'm working on? People that you would normally catch up with, someone that maybe have lunch with, coffee with, whatever that is, someone you see often. You know, this is generic. We just want them to take a look at what you're working on. And now here's the thing. If they ask what is it, you can always follow up with, it may not be anything you're interested in, but it might be for someone you know. And I'm building my business through referrals. You'd agree that building a business through referrals is a good idea, right? So all we're trying to do is diffuse the further questions that would take you into the valley of death, where they start asking you, and you know, question after question after question. This would be one approach that would help you kind of avoid that, because then obviously they're like, okay, yeah, I agree, referrals, okay, I'll take a look at what you're working on. And you know, they might be thinking in the back of their head, oh, he's going to show me something that I need to buy something. It doesn't matter, because we've been around long enough to hear in the business that people tell us all the time, if this wasn't energy, if this wasn't natural gas, if this wasn't electricity, there'd be no way I'd have anything interested in with direct sales or network marketing. But this is a game changer. This is different. And so you should never have any concern at all with showing this business presentation to anyone at all.
You know, the other thing is that I think part of the reason why people get tripped up in getting out there initially is they make it be about something that it's not. They make it be about some business. They change their posture with the relationships that they already have. I mean, you think about it. I mean, we spent the last few days with our kids, and some of the times where we had some downtime and I was cooking dinner, the kids would watch some YouTube videos and they'd be like, oh my gosh, Mom, you got to come look at this. You got to come look at this. They didn't explain to me what it is. They didn't get all weird about what it is. They got real excited about something that they saw, and they said, oh my gosh, you got to take a look at it. You'll love this. You're going to love this. We got to get us one of these, or whatever that was. And they just got excited about it. You've done the same thing. You have done the same thing with videos. You've done the same thing with movies. You've done the same thing with sitcoms. You've done the same thing with YouTube videos. You got to get excited about it. Oh my gosh, you got to take a look at this. give me a call. You got to take a look at this. When you see someone, oh my gosh, you got to take a look at this, and you can pull it up on your smartphone, and you literally within 12 minutes can get them to take a look at your hot new business plan. And that's what you've really got to get is this isn't anything different. You just got to get real excited about it. And if you're not real excited about it, you got to get to a place where you're not just in Ambit, Ambit's in you. When you start to realize that this thing really works, you're going to get super excited about it. We had a consultant, regional consultant, Johnny and Pat Touchstone, who just got their very first residual check on Thursday, and they got, or Wednesday, and they got ultra excited about it. $12.10. And what that told him is this thing really works. All those customers that we've been bringing in, they really are going to pay us. And next month it's going to be bigger, and next month it's going to be bigger. And he got real excited about what the possibility was, not just a few months from now, but a few years from now, what that $12 is going to do. So you've got to get yourself to a place where you've got that excitement in you so that when you're approaching someone, it's not weird. It's just an exciting new business that you want to share with people.
Yeah, we don't want you to transform into some kind of alter ego. You know, you're not trying to get people in. So, I mean, if you were actually trying to recruit or get people in, then yeah, you probably would have to alter yourself. But if you're just being your authentic self and getting excited about something that you're really looking forward to building, excited about, if you got a brand new car, you want to go show people the brand new car. No different than our kids that, wanting to show Mary the video. But Mary's right. I mean, you've got to get excited about this and do not change to be inauthentic to try to get someone to take a look at this. Your perception, your perspective of this is really all about you are showing the business. And if you show the business to enough people, you are going to have people join your team. Now, if you get upset about the first 2-3 people that act weird on you, then that's going to determine your entire future in Ambit Energy, then that's going to be an issue in no matter what you do. But I can tell you this much. With Ambit, the residual plan's real. So when you walk away from Ambit, you walk away from the truest form of residual that we've ever seen. Now, the other thing that's also really critical, and this is part of avoiding Death Valley here, is they ask, is it MLM or network marketing? Never hide or avoid answering this. The answer is always yes. And here's what I like to follow up with. What do you like about network marketing? I'm going to assume that they like something about it. They know something about it. I'm going to assume they like it. Now, they might say, well, gosh, I love the blah, 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 blah. And, I like the meetings, I like the trainings, I like the people, I like the whatever. Okay, great. Well, great. That's why I want you to take a look at this. Now, if they respond with, what do I like? I don't like anything about it. It's a pyramid. It's a scam. It's a blah, 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 blah. Whatever they go into, it's like, great. You know what? You would be an awesome person for me to show this to because you're going to be able to, given your experience, you're going to be able to show me things that I haven't seen yet. Their strength. Again, I'm not trying to trick anyone into joining, but if I do have to trick someone to watch, I'm going to do that because I know that this energy deregulation is a game changer. And when they see what we have on the table, we're not normal. We haven't done normal things in the industry. We've outgrown billion-dollar traditional energy companies. We've outgrown billion-dollar network marketing companies. We have gone from being the no market share in the United States to where we're the sixth largest retail energy company in America. We're the third largest retail energy provider in Texas with only 6% market share, leaving over 8 million people still to be our customers in our most mature market. And we're the #1 direct seller of energy in the world. So no, I don't find any kind of level of insult when someone says, oh, you're doing network marketing. No, I'm working with the fastest growing energy company on the planet, backed by the greatest and largest corporation in the world, as well as the finest leadership that's ever built other corporations. That's what I'm doing. I'm not building some network marketing gimmick. Our company is licensed in 14 states, and we happen to use direct sales network marketing to pay our people for bringing us loyal customers. And we've been doing it year after year, climbing the charts on every chart that's out there. And we've been getting eyeballs on us from all sorts of people. Wall Street Journal, Inc. 500, you name it, we have caught the attention of a lot of people.
And I think if you have any kind of skittishness around that this is direct sales or network marketing or multi-level marketing, there's just some kind of information that you're lacking or some issue that's not been resolved for you yet. And every single person on this webinar, I would highly recommend that you watch Chris Chambliss's training on the fifth objection. You can go to our website, thenewplana.com, go to the video tab and scroll down to the fifth objection. And the fifth objection that Chris talks about is that network marketing doesn't work. And I think that's a lot of people's experience is that network marketing doesn't work. And what I think people are pleasantly surprised about in Ambit is that it does work. It works so beautifully because people are getting free energy. People don't have to change people's buying habits. He goes on and on about why Ambit really does work and what about Ambit works so well. And so I just recommend that you all go and watch that so that you can see for yourselves. And I think it'll build confidence in you that's not in you yet. And as you're around our company and you're around our leadership and you're around these big events, I think your confidence level in this company and the opportunity will grow consistent with that. And I'm telling you, as long as we've been in the business, as successful as we've been in the business, every time we go to Power Trip, every time we go to a corporate event, every time we go to convention, every time we're at simulcast, every time we're around the top leaders in the business, we have so much confidence in this business and what it does for us. You know, I know a lot of you know that earlier this week, we lost a very dear friend of ours to cancer. And she started her Ambit Energy business years ago, she and her husband. And while she was battling that horrific disease, Ambit Energy, their residual paid their mortgage and they didn't have to worry about that. And I know that is such a huge thing for them that they had the opportunity to do that. And that's what this business is about. It's about giving you options. And it was our Ambit Energy family and our church family that banded together to help her through that time and help her husband through that time. So this business is so much more than just about making money. It really is about making a life. And it's making a life for you and your family and for future generations. And I'm telling you, if you plug in over these next 3 weeks and really work like your life depends on it, go take action. Watch training videos, attend events, get coaching, have the conversation with your families. The next 3 weeks are going to be crucial for our business. This is not your business. This is our business, meaning the family business. And when your kids and your spouse and your loved ones understand that, they're going to be able to get on board too. And they're going to do what they can do to help with growing and developing the family business. Because I tell you, if it wasn't for our kids jumping on and being willing to make certain sacrifices with their selves and their time and our time with them, that yellow jacket that's hanging back there, that would have never happened. We never would have hit $1 million in earnings. We never would have had financial freedom. And let me tell you, without some level of sacrifice, you won't either. And it's there. There's a lot of yellow fabric and it's all custom made and it'll have your name on the inside of that jacket for every single person on this conference. But it's here for the taking. There's so much wealth that is going to be grabbed up. It might as well be grabbed up by you. And so, you know, I always tell people this opportunity is a lot like those money machines, you know, when you go in those phone booths and the money flies everywhere and the person that's in the booth, they don't care how they look. They don't care how ridiculous they look. They know there are 5s and 10s and 20s and $100 bills and they're just grabbing everything that they can grab and they're stuffing it in their shirts and in their pants and up their sleeves and everywhere they can find it. And they're just doing what they can do because they know they have a definitive amount of time in that phone booth and they're going to grab up every single bit of cash that they can grab up and they do not care how they look. They do not care if their underwear is hanging out. They don't care if their belly button is showing. They just want to get them some money. And over the next 3 weeks, that's what it's got to be like for you. You got to be willing to go all out and not worry about how you're going to look and not worry about what people are going to think. And you got to get excited and you got to know that you've got a definitive amount of time to make a huge splash in your Ambit Energy business and take advantage of it while you still can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So here's what's going on for us with our schedule, specifically and then generally. So Friday we head out to Pennsylvania. And we're going to spend Saturday with Ray Monty and his team out there for his training event, and then we head out to the Boston area where Mary and I are going to be there from Sunday to Thursday. Mary's going to fly home on Thursday and be working with the team there in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and anywhere else that the team wants to pull us in that direction since we've newly expanded up there. The other is I'm going to stay up there all the way to the Massachusetts launch, which is that Saturday, which is March 28th. And as Mary talked about, get registered for that event if you're up in that area. Corporate's going to be up there. I'm going to be up there. Other local leaders are going to be up there. It's going to be a great event. You know, you guys in Maine, you should drive 4 hours to get there to that event and anywhere else that you can get to. If you can drive 4 or 5 hours to get to a training event like that, it's only going to be a half-day event. It'll be great. You get to meet some other folks. We'll get a chance to meet. Looking forward to that. But you can go to events.ambitenergy.com and register for that event, and we'll look forward to seeing and building with you there. But and then Mary will be back here in Dallas with the team. I think the following week I'll probably be going out to West Texas for a couple days, and then we'll probably be heading down to Houston and the coast area for a couple days as well. So wherever you guys have activity going, obviously that's where we're going to go. We're going to go work with those leaders and help them promote. And you know, you've not maybe gotten to where you want to get just quite yet in this business, but there's a lot we can do over the phone. I promise you, I put more people in the business over the phone on a 3-way phone call than I do at any live meeting, because we can do those all day long. Meetings typically only happen in the evenings or at lunchtime, and you know, it's a very narrow schedule to make that happen. So, but when we've got the phone, we've got your website, we've got the internet, you know, I mean, the sky's the limit. You know, we've been doing 3-way phone calls morning, noon, and night, all the way up to midnight for me last night. So it's all you have to do is be willing to pick up the phone, and we'll help you get there. Okay, guys, we're going to sign off. Y'all have an awesome weekend. Hopefully that this video is a nice correction for the mistake we had before. I apologize to all the people that were trying to log on and couldn't see anything or couldn't hear anything. Thank you for our panelists, Jared Abshire, Jordan Buckingham, Manny Salazar, and Rob Giannino for being on. I'm sorry that we're the only people that got to see that training before, but we are going to put that panel back together again in the next couple of days. So we'll have more announcements going out for that, and get more of these broadcasts out so we can get a little bit closer, a little bit more connected with you guys. So have an awesome rest of your weekend. Let's go find those 3 who can get those 3. God bless.